Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode. Today, we will discuss how Mercury influences our lives. Well, astrologically speaking, Mercury refers to intelligence and way of communication, and that can vary so much depending on which sign and which house it is. But now, let's dig deeper into Mercury's meaning and how to identify it. The symbol for Mercury represents the head and winged cap of Mercury, god of commerce and communication. So now that we know how the symbol looks like, let's try to identify it on the chart. Okay, so can you see the red circle? That's where Mercury is located in my chart. And although it's in Cancer sign on my case, Mercury still is the ruling planet of Gemini and Virgo. And this Mercury's position on the chart will refer to, well, because it is my chart, it will refer to my type of communication and type of my intelligence, but you have to check it out on yours. Now let's dig in some curiosities about the planet itself. So this astrological refers to learning, rationality, knowledge, information, and technique. It is the smallest and innermost planet of the solar system. Now I would like to tell you some curiosities about the planet Mercury. Okay, did you know that a year on Mercury is just 88 days long? Mercury is the smallest planet in the solar system, is the second densest planet. Mercury kind of has wrinkles and has a molten core. Mercury is also the only second hottest planet and its most cratered planet in the solar system. So it kind of looks like our moon, Earth's moon. No evidence for life has been found in Mercury. Daytime temperatures can reach up to 430 degrees Celsius, that means 800 degrees Fahrenheit, and drop to minus 180 degrees Celsius, that means minus 290 degrees Fahrenheit at night. While it is unlikely that any one of us could survive there. It is a rocky planet with a huge iron core, which makes up a large part of its interior. Well, the core is just about 3/4 of the planet's diameter. So Mercury's iron core is about the size of our moon. Iron makes up about 70% of Mercury's total weight, making Mercury the most iron-rich planet in the solar system. Well, like I told you before, it does look like our moon because of its surface, that it's all craters around it. Also, Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun, the smallest of the 8 planets on our solar system, and it is gravitationally locked, and this rotation is unique to the solar system. So this means that every 7 years or so, Mercury can be seen from Earth passing across the face of the Sun. How cool is that? And Mercury has no atmosphere. Even though it is not the hottest planet in the solar system, Venus is the hottest planet because on its dark side, Mercury gets really, really cold because it has no atmosphere to hold the heat or keep the surface warm. When we talk about Mercury in a fire sign, this refers to very conviction and opinionated type of thoughts. And then you have to apply the characteristics of the signs to the way they think. So for a cardinal Aries, it has to be quick. It's a quick type of thinking. For a fixed Leo, it will be positive and will have a strong focus because remember, again, this is fire. Sagittarius, well, they do not like to think about trivialities and they do have direct speech. So this are all very fiery conditions. When we speak about Mercury in an earth sign, is a completely different type of thinking and of communicating. So this refers to a much more structured and practical way of thinking. And if we have the Mercury on a cardinal sign like Capricorn, it refers to ambitious thinking. In a fixed Taurus, it will be structured, factual, practical, because it is a fixed one. And in mutable Virgo, they do have this type of analytical mind, and they are so precise. What about Mercury in air? This refers to an intellectual, rational, yet flexible type of thinking, because it's all related to the head, to the ideas. And a cardinal Libra, because it is a Libra, will have respect for other type of thinkings. There's this lot of harmonization towards the others. In a fixed Aquarius, the mind will be totally open. And immutable Gemini has immutable Earth, Virgo. It's home. Mercury is home. Mercury is the ruling planet of Gemini and Virgo. So they kind of behave the best way, I would say. When something is home, it feels totally comfortable to shine, I would say. So there's this huge curiosity coming from Gemini. Now we have Mercury in water sign, and everything about water is related to emotions, to an intuitive, creative type of thought, always thinking about intuitively, and this kind of creativity that comes from water signs. For example, I can say that having a Mercury in Cancer, yes, I do have a huge memory. Sometimes it is even frightening. In a fixed Scorpio, Mercury has to be honest. It's like they either say what they have to say and be confrontal and totally honest, or they just do not talk at all. These guys cannot lie at all. Immutable Pisces, it's all about active imaginations, because you see that sometimes it feels like they're not even there when someone has a Mercury in Pisces. They're somewhere on their active imagination. So here we have the houses, the fire houses that are related to signs that are in fire. And if you do have Mercury on the first house, this means that you are a skillful, communicative person with a sisterly or brotherly side. You're friendly and you're versatile. And if you have Mercury on house number 5, this can mean that you kind of have an artistic way of communication. You're like a humorist. You make people laugh. You are skilled to talk with children or in a fun way. You have a strong creative capacity, or you have a strong focus in your kids. Okay, now speaking about house number 9, Mercury here would mean that you are very curious about travels, about studies, about rational faith, and even more intellectual one. And you do have skills to teach and to learn what comes from outside. Okay, now speaking about the houses that are associated with the earth sign. So if you have Mercury on house number 2, this can mean that you have the tendency to be an kind of analyst, a scientist, a biologist, an engineering, a writer, a communicator, or a journalist. And this can be the way you make money, because you have communication resources, intelligence, management, and you think a lot about your own money. If you have Mercury on house number 6, This refers to people who have a lot of specialist skills, a lot of technical skills. They can be a good worker, analyst, manager, secretary. It is someone who has the ability for details, and they are very good in their own techniques. And what about house number 10? Well, the person who has the Mercury in house number 10, it is a good communicator in professional terms. If this person would be suited for a communication career, a writing career, journalism one, and they do have skills, ability to deal with power people and to manage really well power positions. These are the houses related to air signs, and because house number 3, it is the house of communication, it can only mean that this person who has Mercury in this house would be versatile and would have a huge capacity of learning, a lot of curiosity, and it would be easy for her to learn a lot of different things. They can be a communication engineers, for example. House number 7, if someone has Mercury on this house, this means she's a good observer of the others and a good communicator towards the others. Very analytical of the others and very friendly of their friends. I mean, there's this very good relationship between this person and her, his friends. Now, house number 11 suggests an intelligence to manage teams and to speak in groups and focus on this type of relationships, of team relationships, like marriage or community. And this refers to a good capacity of management and attention in these plural areas. And now, speaking about the houses that are related with water signs. So if you do have Mercury on the house number 4, this refers to intelligence in managing familiar patrimony. You think a lot about your family, and how to take care of them. Yeah. And how to manage your family resources. So you are very dedicated to this theme. If we are speaking about Mercury in house number 8, this reveals a capacity to deeply understand the motivations of others. You can turn out to be a good psychologist, detective, police, a financial one. And these people tend to be more nervous and more communicated on intimacy. So it can feel like outside their trust person, they are very quiet, and then they don't speak. And then with someone they trust, then they open their game and they are able to talk. This is a very deep house number 8. And now, last but not the least, we have house number 12. And Mercury in this house can refer to someone who's a bit closed, not so rational, and has a great capacity to communicate with others in spiritual areas. It can be a good medium or psychic and help the disfavored ones. It can be a gifted spiritual technician. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something and had fun, of course. If you have any suggestion, please comment below and subscribe to know more about astrology. Well, once again, thank you very much, and I'll see you next episode.